Let me first start by saying a big congratulations to the Aston Martin team. We knew the news was coming. We've heard the news before it came. We knew it will break. Everything that is hidden will come out. So we knew they have signed Andrea Newey. That is one of the pieces they are looking for to compete in the, did I say 2024? See, because there's no competition in 2025. Andrea Newey is starting work middle of next year, around May next year, 2025. So they're preparing for 2026. The master plan of Lawrence Stroll is to get a huge team comprising of superstars so that they can win a Formula One championship. I think before he's thinking about his son, Lance Stroll, because looking at it, Lawrence Stroll has done a lot for his son. He has gotten a lot of back-end tutors for him to train him, to get him in shape. He has gotten him into Formula 4, winning Formula 4 championship, the European championship, sponsoring the Premier team that brought him up, sponsoring a lot of teams. When he even got to F1, he brought him to F1 by bringing him to Williams and being the major backbone of Williams then. Yes, you heard me right. Lawrence Stroll was the major backbone of Williams then. But immediately he heard that Force India will be for sale, he tapped into it. The big consortium that he has, and they bought it and they turned it to Racing Point. And from Racing Point, it was like, I get this money now. Let me buy Aston Martin. Remember then, Aston Martin was in partnership with Red Bull. Was able to lure Aston Martin out and was like, forget about Red Bull. Red Bull na drink company. Leave them. Let them go and be drinking energy drink. Let us do business. But that same Red Bull that was an energy drink and that's still an energy drink is still the championship leader and contender. And he has won 3 championships through Verstappen as driver and recently, and 2 as a constructor, going on 3. Possibly they won't get the 3rd one now in this decade. But certainly he's trying to invest and get this team. He got Aston Martin and is a deal breaker. Aston Martin back in F1 through Lawrence Stroll. He's built the state-of-art dyno factory and the biggest thing in F1, should I say, in Silverstone. Now got Andrea Newey. Now he's chasing after Max Verstappen. Now 2 teams that are now chasing after Max Verstappen. I said at the beginning of the season when these whole shenanigans about Chris Horner came out, I said if Chris Horner cannot hold his home, he's going to break his home. And that, I think, Christian Horner is heading towards a home break. His home personally looks not in accord. His home looks broken because the situation in which himself and his wife had been since this news break had not been wonderful. And now they are heading towards a new team. So many people have left Red Bull while Chris Horner has been saying, oh, he's baseless, he's boneless, he's thisless. But now all these things are happening and Mercedes Toto Wolff has not stopped chasing after Verstappen. Now Aston Martin is behind Verstappen. Remember, Ferrari was the front runner for Andrea Newey before, and we were looking at Ferrari is going to get him. Ferrari has got him. All of a sudden, Aston Martin just came out of nowhere. Lawrence Stroll met with Andrea Newey, talked with him, offered him big money after Miami, and the news of Aston Martin in the race came out, and I was like, Aston Martin, what does he want to do with him? I looked at it. Why would Andrea Newey go to Aston Martin? Number one, I think it's not just the money. He's looking at a place that is close to home. He does not want to leave England. If he wants to leave England, it would have been easier for him. Look at the profile of his job. From Williams, McLaren, Red Bull, Aston Martin. Now, all these teams are based in England. So it's easier for him to work from home, see his wife. I think that guy loves his wife. He loves his wife. He does not want to leave his wife. You know, seeing his wife, maybe kids around, except for Formula 1, whenever they are back, he's at home chilling, and maybe the jazz is around home. I think that's one of the reasons he does not want to leave England to go to Ferrari. Going to Maranello, it will take a lot out of him, and again, he's old. He's 65 years old. Traveling to Maranello, to races, all those things might wear him out, and he still wants to be young. So then somebody came with big money. A big man came, offered him close to 30 million per year, and also shareholder in Aston Martin. What else does he need? And this guy has had a taste of Aston Martin, and Aston Martin is a British heritage team. What does he want? Well, it's just like, let me just give it in, and he gave it in, and I don't blame him. Seriously, I don't blame him. It's a good thing for him to be in Aston Martin. Now they're chasing after Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has said he is not surprised that McLaren are now focusing on Lando Norris. He's not surprised, but because a lot of people have shouted it, that's why McLaren are now focusing. But I'll get to McLaren now. He's not surprised, but he is not weary about it because he's going to get weary very soon. If the RB20 is not fast, and by chance these guys creep in, certainly McLaren are the fastest car. On this track we are going to now in Baku, which car will be the fastest? But it doesn't look like Red Bull will be a fast car. Red Bull might be maybe a second or third fastest car. We don't know what Ferrari are bringing. Is it the same upgrade they brought? And will it work with a new downforce level on those long straight in Baku? Will it work? We don't know yet. Mercedes, will they remove or uncouple all those upgrades? Seriously, that is not working. And move forward with something that is working? We don't know. Now, Red Bull had said that they are not bringing any upgrades certainly until Austin. The biggest upgrade they are bringing will be in Austin. But there are still races. Seriously, there are still races in which Max Verstappen will still take the engine penalty. And there are still races in which Red Bull engine had not been a reliable engine, in which the engine might kaput on the track. All these things will make him weary, certainly, and be careful of this McLaren that is after them. And going to McLaren, if McLaren is just waking up after a lot of media have shouted that McLaren prioritize Lando Norris, it shows that McLaren are not thinking fast. They're not thinking ahead. During Oscar Piastri's interview, Oscar Piastri said that if the team needs him, listen, if the team needs him to do the needful, he will do it. That's where he has been, which means they know what they need to do. They know what they are doing. Why are they now sabotaging themselves? It looks to me, it looks not so sensible. Should I say stupid? If you guys know that, okay, we can do this and we can do this and this guy can win, we can ask this guy, we are here, can we do this? Why are you now just doing it now? Why didn't you do it in Monza to give you maximum points? It doesn't make sense, seriously. And I think they will be the architect of their own whatever fall, because whatever fall happens to them, they made the fall the fall. So they need to think. They are just thinking, but I think they should have thought ahead things. And also on the cost cap, FIA confirms that all the teams and the 4 power unit manufacturers were found in compliance of the cost cap in 2023. But Honda, Engine, and Alpine have been found in procedural breach of the F1 cost cap. So you clap for them, you also look at it. There are procedural breach. A breach is a breach. Now they are saying the engine manufacturers have been found in procedural breach of the cost cap. Neither exceeded the spending limit governing the body ad. It proposes both come to an acceptable breach agreement. For me, I think it's a shame if a news like this is rounding up in F1 and they're like, oh, there's a procedural breach. What's the procedural breach? I think F1 should be able to come out and say it out in a very, very, very easy way so that we can understand, because if there are procedural breaches, the Alpine Racing and Honda Racing, they said they've acted in good faith and are currently cooperating with the cost cap administration to finalize the matter. So why raise everybody's hope? But I think FIA should not bring us in a way in which the whole Formula 1 will be looking at them and be suspecting that there's something wrong. So on that, I think F1 needs to look at that. Congratulations again to Andre Newey, but who will get Max Verstappen in 2026? Will it be Mercedes? Will it be Aston Martin? But I can tell you, with the way this season is going and next season is coming, the new engine and the new car will decide where he's going to, but it's looking like Max Verstappen may not be staying a long time in Red Bull. That's certain. He will have to go to another place to challenge himself. That's what good drivers. But let's see where he ends up into by the end of 2025. So, which team brought upgrade in Baku? Let's discuss that. The only team that brought upgrade was the Red Bull, as a real upgrade. They've gone back to their first spec. That is the car they started with this year. All those pores, all those holes. They've gone back to it. At a point in time, they took them out when they got to Japan. They were taking them out one by one, but they've gone back to those holes behind the drivers. Going back to that is trying to, one, make them learn. Two, they're trying to see where they fall off. And three, they know that was faster. And the floor, they reprofiled. Like I said, they will be bringing a new floor, totally new floor in Austin. That's if they still think they should bring it, but they will reprofile this floor, make it a little bit higher on the frontal part of the floor to direct more airflow on the floor and underneath the floor so the car can have more using it. And they've had a lot of practices and this floor is not working. I said they should just ditch that floor, so they've gone back to that Silverstone winning floor that have given them the fall trajectory which they needed. But that Silverstone winning floor gives them more speed on the high speed corner and on the straight. That's where they have more speed. But on low speed corners, they are really competitive, but not as fast as they should be. Now, even in Baku, it shows that Red Bulls with that upgraded floor, they are faster on the low speed corners, but on the high speed corners on the straight, the Mercedes are blistering fast. That will determine where the qualifying is, and also there will be a lot of teaching going on these things to make these cars faster. Now, the Red Bulls have not complained about the understeer and oversteer they are having with this new floor. But by the time the cars will be faster, because this is the green floor. Before the FP1, there are no FP2 practices. So this is a green track. I even like about 3 seconds slower than last year FP1 time. And also, the track is hotter now than it was in 2023. And in 2023, the race was far back earlier in the year. Now we are third quarter of the year when they're having the race already. So certainly they're going to do some little twitches by FP2 and this car will be fast. For Mercedes, like I said, they've gone back to that floor. Now they are using 2 different configurations on their car. The configuration on Lewis's car is different from the configuration on George Russell's car. So they are trying to make some adjustments to see how they can make this car faster, which setup is better for them for the race weekend and also for the qualifying. Certainly, it's going to be a good race. In the FP1, we had 2 red flags. We had one from Charles Leclerc. After setting a faster time, he just rammed it. Charles Leclerc loved the walls in Baku. I don't know why he didn't buy a house in Baku. I still believe Charles Leclerc should buy a house in Baku because the way he loves the walls in Baku, every year he always kiss walls, hug walls, do everything with walls. He needs to find time to visit Baku on private visits to see how we can make it up with Baku. That's the first red flag of the session. While Colapinto had the second red flag of the session in Baku. They were fast in Baku to clear the scars, clear the debt, and you can get back to running. It didn't really impair the way practice should be. They were in 5 minutes time, they were back on track. So it's a fast pace. Everything is well set up for them to continue the agility of racing. We didn't really see much of the McLaren, but they look faster. The only car I can tell you that looks faster on the straight and on the high-speed corners are the Mercedes. We are going to see some new things coming up from McLaren. In FP2, these cars will be faster. There will be other junior categories. These cars will be faster in FP2. There will be some turn-up of engines and some fine-tunes to make these cars faster. By FP2, we'll look at where we are going to. But in FP1, we had Max Verstappen topping the timesheet. The 2 Red Bulls sandwiched Lewis Hamilton to make Sergio Perez third on the McLarens are looking not so fast. The Mercedes should know where they are going to. And also, this weekend should give Red Bull a direction in which they are going to. The Mercedes are still feeling the hot seat. Lewis Hamilton complained this in the FP1 session that the seat still looks hot. That's the same issue they had 2 weeks ago in Monza on the straight. The floor is touching the ground so much that it's generating a lot of, and the carbon fiber in the seat is capturing a lot of it from the road because that track is about 43 to 45 degrees and they are exerting too much heat into it. Some of it is coming back into the car. I think Mercedes should be able to look at a way to solve this issue of heat getting into the car. When FP2, I'll be able to give you what the whole structure will be, how tomorrow will be and Sunday will be. The FP2 looks a little bit different from the FP1. Charles Leclerc had his shone out in FP1, but he came hard in FP2 and topped the timesheets in FP2. He was able to top the timesheets because the track has ramped up and it has improved so well that his time then was blistering. In FP2, we have Hamilton still complaining about the seat heat in the Mercedes. His teammate George Russell, during the engine oil check, they found some iron filing in the engine oil and the team decided to do a quick engine swap for him. And I think probably that engine might still be refurbished or revamped before the end of the season, but that engine will be sent to Brixworth, their headquarters, to look at and know what they will do about the engine immediately after this race in Baku. The wind deflector on the Mercedes, FIA has come with the brilliant idea of wind deflector, a small glass like it is on the old SLR, and Hamilton was unable to see at some point in the race, so he had to go back into the pit to make an adjustment to it. Also, Verstappen had to slow down from clipping the wall in FP2 because they were finding time, and his teammate was not short of surprises. His teammate has always loved the tracks like close circuit, street circuit. That is where Sergio Perez thrives well, but not just thriving well in Baku. He's doing a splendid job here. Is there a change in the approach, or had the Red Bull team made some little changes to the car that is making it suitable for him to drive? Well, we're yet to know that, but I think they've made some little changes to the car that is suiting him more, and he's doing a good job for now in Baku, and I think he can keep doing a better job. The Mercedes looks pacey and very, very strong on their long run. Hamilton setting a very beautiful lap on his hard tires, setting good times, and on the soft tires, he did a pretty good job. But the Mercedes looks not just slow, they look fast on the high-speed corners and also on the mid corners. They are in the blend of the Ferrari. They are not looking far away. The hard tires, especially for Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, those guys are fast on their tires. They are using their tires and the medium tires for the race. From what I'm looking at, this race is going to be very interesting because we're having 6 teams in the top 10. We're having the As competing beautifully. The track-specific upgrade that VCAR brought is not really showing what I think they deem it to show. But certainly, we'll look at all these things tomorrow. But the race pace, the pace is still between the Ferrari, the Mercedes, the RB, and the McLaren. I know the McLaren are holding back a lot. They're sandbagging, but we would know tomorrow. And Franco Colapinto is doing a decent job. He's very, very close, knitted close to his teammate Alex Albon, some few tenths away, unlike what Logan Sargent was doing. And I think that's a good change for Williams for the season because they really need to know where their head is and where they're are going and to know how to develop the next year for Carlos Sainz also. And I think for Oliver Bierman, he's doing a good job, as in his second outing in Formula One. His first was in Saudi Arabia when he took the place of Carlos Sainz after appendicitis surgery. Now, Colapinto is representing the same Williams that Carlos Sainz is coming into, and Oliver Bierman did a good job in Saudi Arabia. Now, he's done a good job also in FP1, FP2, getting so close to Nico Hülkenberg in that ass. That is decent for him, and I think a lot of young guys are out there that will do a good job in Formula One, that will even do a better job than some of this present grid. And if I should say people that should leave the grid, most of you will be like, why are you talking like that? Yeah, some people deserve to leave the grid because some of these young guns are doing a great job. The qualifying is going to be big, the race is going to be bigger, but we are having in the mix the Red Bull, the Ferrari, the Mercedes, and the McLaren. It's going to be very interesting. Who comes out on top in the qualifying in the race? I'll put it tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye.